Namaskar. Welcome to Awakening with Brahmakumaris. Let's first welcome Sister Shivani.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister. We have spoken about so many things, and happiness unlimited, and relationships, and this and that. Finally, the most important point people want to know is, initially there were a lot of changes. It started like magic. It worked like magic. And they were very happy. They thought that things have changed. But in practical life, when situations came, well, even there, they were very happy for a few months. But suddenly, a lot of people say that we'll come back to the square one.
When we start listening to a different piece of information, a different kind of a belief system, one is it's totally contradictory to the belief system that we've been working with earlier. Even a simple thing like anger is natural was an old belief system, and suddenly a new belief system, peace is natural. These are two absolutely opposite. And then living and working people who are working with the belief system that anger is natural. So the vibration, the energy around you, because everyone, suppose you're working in an office and there are 10, 20, 100 people, everyone's working with the thought process, anger is natural. So it's in the air. That vibration's in the air. And you've also lived with that belief system for a very long time. All of us,
yeah.
all of us. And then suddenly we say, okay, but I understand it's damaging me, it's damaging my team. I understand I want peace, I want happiness. I've understood that I am the creator of my thoughts, I choose. So from today, I will not get angry. So we're totally convinced and we're all motivated and we are going to do it today. And then we go out into the field. But the tide is totally in the opposite direction. And plus we are not very strong because we've lived with that old belief system for a very long time. So it's quite a challenge. But in spite of this challenge, a large number of us have been able to achieve it to a large extent. I've been meeting thousands of people who will say, our way of thinking has changed. We were suffering from depression for a very long time, but we've been able to come out of it because we started looking at the same situation in a different perspective. But what is happening is it requires effort, because with less power, moving against the tide is itself challenging. You know, it's like as if you're swimming, you're anyways physically weak and you're going against the tide. So it's not very easy. So you tend to get tired. You tend to want to give up. And then you want to say once in a while, forget it, it's easier to just get angry and get the work done faster. This is so difficult to be patient and peaceful and say it 5 times. It's taking so much time. So you feel like giving up.
Why doesn't it go from within, and how?
One is a transformation with effort and attention is what we're doing now, which is very important because this helped us to see our own potential. It helped us to see that, oh, I can do things without getting angry. Oh, I can accept people as they are. I can manage relationships without expectations and they are smoother. So this was a way of seeing that this formula works. But now I cannot go on a lifetime with effort and attention. I'll get tired. Now we need to do something so that this becomes natural. I don't have to remember so much that I have to be peaceful.
New belief system.
Yeah, but it just should just flow. It should, being peaceful should come naturally. I don't have to remind myself, don't get angry, be peaceful. And then after some time, but I'm peaceful, but look at the result, people are not working. I have realized now is that my potential is to be fully charged. So similarly, I have realized that my potential is, my true nature is, I'm a peaceful being. But right now I've got these deep sanskars of anger and irritation and anxiety and fear. But my true nature is peace. So one is knowledge that I'm a peaceful being, but the other thing is also to create power so that that battery gets charged, so that the knowledge I am a peaceful being flows naturally.
Where do we go for that to get charged?
Yeah, so that is where we bring in the second dimension. One is knowledge, which now we've all understood. Second is implementation, which we've started doing. Third is inculcation of power, and that power comes from meditation.
inculcation of power comes from meditation.
Meditation.
And that people say is very, very difficult.
Now, if I have this belief system, meditation is difficult, one, I might not even try. And second, even if I try, because anyways I'm doing it for the first time, even if I experience a little challenge, I give up very easily because my old belief system says meditation is very difficult. It's like physical exercise. If I haven't exercised for 40 odd years and now suddenly but someone says, but if you want to be strong, you have to exercise. So I start, but how is the beginning going to be?
A few steps on the treadmill.
With so much
5
pain,
minutes.
but so much pain even in those few steps.
Yeah, but few steps, but when the doctor says minimum 20 minutes, it seems that it's like years and years,
Yeah,
hours.
but forget 20 minutes. I can't even do it for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And even those 5 minutes, I'm breathless and I'm panting, and then after that my legs are paining and my hands are paining, and I really want to give up, and I say exercise is very difficult. I can't do this for me, and I choose to go back living an unhealthy lifestyle because I'm not ready to break that barrier, that little
Mental
period.
block.
Yeah, that little period of pain which is going to come because I'm doing something which I haven't done since a very long time. Similarly, when we start doing meditation, initially we might not experience anything.
No, but meditation, does that mean experiencing? Because people basically run away thinking, or they say that meditation means to become thoughtless.
Again, very deep belief system that meditation means become thoughtless. You know, there are different, like you said, different
Thoughtless,
kinds.
bodiless, so many things.
Different kind of meditation techniques, and most common when people don't learn, but just because they've read somewhere and they will try it out on their own at home, they will say just concentrate on a point and stop thinking. And so then we sit and we create a thought, I'm not to think, I'm not to think, I'm not going to think.
That's also a thought.
That's also a thought. So we need to understand we can never become thoughtless.
And this is a very tiring thought.
Very tiring.
I'm not going to think, I'm not going to think, and you go on thinking, then you start fighting with it.
Absolutely. And because thinking is natural and thoughts are going to come, and I say I'm not going to think, so I'm trying to suppress something which is flowing, this starts paining here.
Very tiring.
It's very tough. And plus again, because I'm trying to do something which is not possible, I don't get the result. And
So
then
what
I
do-
will give up.
What do you suggest?
This particular method of meditation where we would sit and try and become thoughtless, one, it's not really possible. And second, let me think about it, what's the practical use of it? Even if I'm able to achieve it, even if someone says, oh, I can become thoughtless. Okay, fine. So I have a whole day of work, I have challenges, I create a lot of stress, anger, and then I come back home, and in the night or next day morning, I sit for 10-15 minutes and let's say I create no thoughts. Okay, so I create no thoughts for those 15 minutes, and because no wrong energy, mind feels very relaxed, very peaceful, very
Energized.
fresh, very energized. But then when I go back to work, it's going to be the same challenges, same situations, and in those challenges, I'm going to create the same old kind of thoughts which I used to create earlier. So it's a whole day of
Basically, there's no change in my way of thinking,
my
or my
attitude,
belief.
or my sanskars. It's just that 15 minutes of silence and peaceful. It does feel very
And
peaceful
energized.
and very energized. But that energy doesn't last for very long, because very soon I'm again creating the wrong kind of energy, and by the end of the day I'm again like this. And then morning I try to
bad
do.
again that this meditation is not helping me.
But you know, meditation was not supposed to help during the day for most of the people. For most of the people, meditation means 15 minutes of being peaceful.
That's it.
And the rest of the day, stress is natural, anger is natural,
You've
and
got to
peaceful
work like
is.
this in the office.
This is the way things work. Peaceful while meditating, peaceful while in silence. So this belief system also has to be changed. The other kind of meditation which many of us are doing is concentrating on our breathing, trying to go inwards, or taking one particular word, like a mantra, and repeating the word, which is a very useful technique, because when you're taking a particular word and repeating it again and again, you're basically focusing your mind onto that word.
They also take an image.
Yeah, image, word,
Idle,
candle,
image, photograph,
flower,
yeah.
whatever. So basically taking your mind to concentrate on something else. But while it's concentrating on that, for some time initially, it will not create any ordinary waste thoughts. But when you're using the same word or the same line again and again and again every day, let's say I take the word Om Shanti and I keep saying Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. First day might sound interesting, second day, third day, 5 days. Meditation meant working on the mind. So we have to look for something by which our way of thinking changes, attitude changes, perception changes, belief system changes, and deep-rooted sanskars change.
The traits,
Absolutely.
the habits, the past habits,
the roots. Because if
qualities.
lots of people have been talking about positive thinking. We've been talking about positive thinking on this program, and then we're trying to change ourselves at the level of our thinking. And that's why it's effort.
What is before thought?
Before thought is belief system.
And before belief?
Belief system is that sanskar, the consciousness.
How does one burn or change or kill that sanskar?
That will happen in meditation. Because what will happen in meditation, at the Brahmakumaris, the meditation that we practice, we call it Rajayoga meditation. Now in Rajayoga meditation, we don't stop thinking, one. Second, we don't keep on thinking or repeating any particular word or mantra. We sit with our mind and consciously create a new set of sanskars, belief patterns and thinking. And because if I spend, it's like not shutting down your computer, not just putting your computer in the sleeping mode, but basically reformatting your computer.
Reset.
Yeah. It's just reformatting, not a reset.
Oh yes, resetting means you go back to the same again.
Absolutely. It's like if I'm working on the computer and sometimes working on a particular software, it hangs or it's not working properly. So I said reset the computer. So if you shut down and reset, and after a few minutes it will switch on.
Back to the old one.
But then it's again back to the old one.
So you want to have a new format.
You have to reformat the whole operating system because it's quite outdated.
So you mean to say while meditating, you reformat your old belief system?
See,
you talk to yourself?
Absolutely, because belief
talk
system,
here?
talk not with this, talk here.
But I used to think that you've got to stop thinking while meditating.
We can't stop thinking.
So if you've got to do some kind of a counseling, thinking, talking,
it's
talking
basically
to whom?
not stop thinking because the mind cannot stop thinking, but choose our thinking now.
Thoughts are coming.
I'm
while
creating.
meditating, if I think of say somebody I'm angry with.
Yeah.
So where is my point of selection?
So now if I'm thinking about somebody I'm angry with, it's my conscious mind which is thinking, which is the top layer, the one which is active throughout the day. So in meditation, I will first slow down the conscious mind because these are my thoughts, the top layer which I can see. But my sanskars, the root, is the lower layer. It's the subconscious mind. See, even in the management workshops or power of visualization, they will teach us that go to the subconscious mind and then plant a thought there. And that thought, if it is planted in the subconscious mind, it will become a reality.
But how will I know when am I in subconscious?
When the conscious mind becomes quiet.
But how does one know? I don't even know.
When I stop thinking about, it's not stop thinking, but stop thinking about the ordinary, mundane things which are going on during the day. So when we sit in meditation, sit in silence for a few minutes and gradually first just clean up the top layer. Okay, this is important, not now, after 10 minutes. I will think about this after 10 minutes. This is not for now. So any thought which is coming, don't suppress it, address
Supposing
it.
if I get an office thought, can I tell myself, okay, this will talk in the office? After I reach, not right now, okay?
Right.
Now I'm busy doing something else.
Yes.
Okay,
So
can I talk to it like a child?
Absolutely. And this
Like
will
you tell
take
a child,
5 minutes.
Just give me 5 minutes, I'm in a meeting.
Very sweet, yeah. That's how it will work. And the child will listen. But if I say, no, stop, I'm not to think like this, it won't listen. Address it. So spend the first 5 minutes in quietening all these things, and you will immediately start experiencing a silence. Because all this regular turmoil which goes on during the day, this inner conversation, that mind has now stopped talking. So immediately we will experience silence, and which means we've come to the deeper layer. deeper. When you look at the water also, the sea, the deeper layer, very silent.
What kind of thoughts are there then?
Now here we will change our sanskars, because here some very deep rooted sanskars are there. Sanskars of anger, irritation, tension, fear. These traits are there. It's from this pattern that these thoughts are arising.
Sister Shivani, I can't understand how to change, even if I go to my subconscious level. I don't have a pen or paper or an eraser to, what do you mean by changing? Am I conscious of myself there?
Changing doesn't mean we can't erase that pattern, but we can create a new pattern. See, one is when I am in this ordinary way of thinking and I create a thought, I'm a peaceful being. I'm a peaceful being. It's a thought, it comes and it goes away because it's on the conscious layer. But when I silence the conscious layer and the mind becomes absolutely silenced, and then I create this powerful thought, then I'm working on the subconscious mind. Here we have to plant the seed. You know how when you plant the seed in the garden, you have to dig up if you just go and put the seed on the top layer of the soil, that seed will just
take
be
out
there.
the weeds.
Yeah. So dig out, clean it up, and then put it there lower, and then cover it up. And then nourish it every day. Then there's water, there's good. Then it's every day. Remembering, reminding, practically using. But the seed is planted in that early morning time. Removing the top layer, silence the mind, clean up all this ordinary way of thinking, and then go and put that powerful seed. I am a peaceful soul. And in Raj Yoga, what we also do is not just working on who I am, but also connecting to the Supreme Power. This is a very, very important thing, because a lot of meditation techniques, we're only working on ourselves. Go inside, recognize yourself, find your strength. So you're working on yourself. But it's like, I know I'm a discharged battery. I can see it in my practical life. Now this discharged battery is trying to charge itself. How effective would it be? And then we will say, oh, I do it for an hour every day and 2 hours every day, and I've been doing it for 20 years, and it takes time. It's not so easy. It takes many, many years so that you can experience a little bit of peace. Why it's going to take time? Why it becomes a question of time and
going
years?
The wrong way.
Not your wrong way. You are making a lot of effort because a discharged battery is trying to charge itself. But now you just take that discharged battery and connect it to the powerhouse. How much time will it take?
1 minute.
Immediately it will suck that power and it will start getting energized. So Raj Yoga is not just I am a peaceful soul, but now I'm connecting to the ocean of peace. See, when you said how will the sanskar change, how will that pattern change, because there's this huge laser energy which is going to come. It's like any infection, but one laser beam and then you can go cut and heal the body. So similarly, yes, these are very deep-rooted patterns, but when I connect to that energy, I take that energy to cut this pattern and create another pattern.
How does one connect to that energy, and what is that energy?
When we say that energy is that, of course, we're talking of the Supreme Power, because if I, the soul, am the battery, then the powerhouse is only that Supreme Power, whom we call God, Allah, Ishwar, Paramatma, Bhagwan, so many words.
Eternal light.
So many words. Divine power. Yeah, so many words. But it's only remained as words. It's only remained as concepts. It's only remained as belief system. Many of us ask each other today, do you believe in God?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, so belief. It's a belief. But God is not a belief. God is a reality.
Truth.
And I have to establish a personal, direct relationship with Him. And once I have that personal, direct relationship with Him, whatever is His is mine. It's like a child. Do you believe you have parents? I know. It's the truth. And everything that's there
love
is
is
mine.
parents, worship, work is worship, all those. So many things you read all over.
So Raj Yoga is this beautiful technique where I first understand myself, but the most beautiful part of it is when I recognize that Supreme Being and connect and get energized. Then it's not a question of hours.
And where do I
It's
go?
not a question of years.
Where do I go to learn this? I don't think it's on TV.
What's not on TV?
How to get connected to?
How to get connected? See, it is that we have been talking about it in a lot of programs, but the thing is that it's something which has to be experienced. It is something which I have to learn one-on-one from someone. So we've always suggested and recommended that if anyone wants to now go one step further, got the knowledge, liked it, understood it, want to use it, now get the power. Now to get the power, just take one step further. And that one step further is, just take out that little bit of time to go to your nearest Rajayoga meditation center, the Brahmakumaris center. And there's so many centers today. In 130 countries, over 8,500 centers.
130 countries and 8,500
More than,
centers.
because every day it's growing, the number.
Huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Within India, it's every city. I mean, in a city like Delhi or Mumbai, we've got over 100 centers in every city. So basically, it's so convenient that wherever you're living, within your 5 kilometers radius, there has to be a Rajayoga meditation center. Now, all that I have to do is take out a little bit of time. And at every center, we have something known as a Rajayoga meditation course, a foundation course, where we go in for the course. It's normally one-on-one. So there's a sister or a brother there, mostly sisters at the center, who will do this Rajayoga course with us. And we choose our time and day, which is convenient to us. And because we're doing one-on-one, we can choose whatever date and time we want. Very flexible. So we need about 6 to 7 days and about 45 minutes to an hour.
6 to 7 days.
That's all the amount of time that we need to take out. And once we go to the center, there are sisters and brothers there who will teach this course and help us to learn meditation, and they will meditate with us. You know, what happens is, sitting at home, why it becomes difficult is because the environment in that house, where all of us have been living with those same old belief patterns, slightly negative, because there's anger in the air, there's stress in the air. And once you go to the center, there's peace in the air, there's purity in the air.
Is this only for a particular religion, caste or creed or something, or maybe only for Hindus? Or
Brahmakumaris is a spiritual organization, and spirituality means study of the spiritual self, the soul, and study that I am a soul, and then bring it out into my personality. Spirituality means a personality which is spiritual, means a personality which remembers that it's a spirit. I am a soul. That's spirituality. Religion, it's not a religion. It's not a cult. It's a study group. It's a study group
so
where we all
be,
study.
Any caste and...
Oh yeah, today we are about millions of people who are studying here, and there's no religion which is not here. We've got Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, Parsis, Jews, name it, everybody. Now the only thing that happens is, like say, by religion, by birth, I'm a Hindu, and I come to the Brahmakumaris. I'm still a Hindu, but now I study core beliefs, core personality, and then I'm able to become a true Hindu, actually.
A better Hindu.
Yeah, because my religion was teaching me all these things. Every religion is teaching peace, love, purity. But then we were somewhere not being able to apply it. And we said religion meant rituals. Religion meant reading and chanting and rituals. And then when we came back into our day-to-day life, we were the same old self. So each of us experienced this, that when we come to the center, we're Hindus, Muslims, Sikhs, Christians, and then we study this knowledge and start meditating. We're able to understand our religion, one, in its true sense, and second most important, we're able to live our religion. We're able to be what our religion was teaching us. Otherwise, religion seemed different from our day-to-day living. Religion seemed to be just something that is a belief system, a practice, a ritual, and my day-to-day life was different. Spirituality helps me to bring my religion into my practical life. So I'm not giving up my religion, and I'm definitely not converting to any other religion. Each one of us has retained the religion in which we were born, and even today with the same religion.
Yeah, but some are vegetarians, some are non-vegetarians, and some have habits of smoking, drinking, so many things. Is there a rule that certain person cannot come in or something?
Oh, this sounds like very strict. One, it's not a rule. Second, it's not you have to. No. Definitely it is recommended. It is suggested because we understand that if I want to experience purity of mind, then I would have to first experience at least purity of the body. If I can't experience it at such a gross level, I will not be able to experience it at the subtle level. So definitely these particular habits, whether it's food habits, whether it's any kind of abuse of alcohol and smoking, we are taught when we come initially that if you gradually, try to refrain from these things, try and see the benefit. But it's not have to, it's not compulsory, and it's definitely not a rule. It's like when you go to a doctor, and we go to the doctor with our illness, and the doctor will give us a medication, a treatment, and with that, a few preventive measures. So we start taking the medication, the treatment, and then we also implement the preventive measures as much as we can. But the secret is always that the more you do it, the faster you get healed. But even if you're not able to do it, at least continue taking the medication and the treatment, even if you're not able to follow the preventive measures that the doctor is giving you. So the right food habits, which is the sattvic food. We've seen earlier that as the food, so will be the mind. So if the food is sattvic, pure, high energy, definitely the mind will also be pure and high energy.
So these 7 days course classes, if we be vegetarians and do not indulge in alcohol and all that, so we can learn faster?
It's not only about the 7 days. See, 7 days is just like ABCD. So it doesn't mean that I will be able to change my sanskars in 7 days. It's just that in these 7 days, I'm learning the technique.
Why I'm asking you, sister, the 7 days is because a lot of people do not want to enter a center at all. First 7-day course, I'm sorry, we have a guru. I'm a non-vegetarian. I'm not going to quit smoking. I'm not entering here. I'm not going to wear white clothes. I'm not going to leave my guru. I'm not going to leave my religion. They hypnotize. See, there are a lot of people who ask me these things.
See, one thing is that, a lot of people have asked me this too also, that I already belong somewhere else. Or, I'm associated with another group or with another organization, or I'm practicing some other meditation technique. So how can I leave that and come here? Or that particular organization tells us not to go anywhere else. All those fears that are there.
Does your organization say that too, not to go anywhere else?
No, we say go everywhere.
Okay, thanks.
It's a study group, it's just study. It's study and use it. Go wherever you want. Meet whoever you want. Do whatever you're doing. Absolute freedom. And if you feel like, then try this study. And I've experienced, if you're doing any kind of meditation earlier, if you've been going to any other organization before, and your religion, of course, Raj Yoga only helps me to improve on that.